Hi my loves, thank you so much for joining me today. I finally had some time to sit down and paint something and put together a video. It feels like ages since I did this type of thing and I've really missed it. Hopefully you're as happy as I am to see this kind of content again. Today's painting came from a sketch that I did in my sketchbook. I've been looking at gesture and movement of the body, using this book called Airborne as a reference for some of the poses. It's a book of dance photography, really lovely, interesting stuff. My sister got it for me from a charity shop. She knows I'm always looking for books with pictures in, any source of visual inspiration or alternative reference ideas. I've talked in the past about how valuable it can be to have lots of books at your disposal to refer to when you need that spark or you need some information, whether that be visual or not. And when I say that, I'm not specifically talking about art books, anatomy and lighting. You can get really creative with your reference materials. This book is a great example of that. Books on animals or architecture or design, things that interest you, just learning about it or drawing the pictures from the books can, and almost always will, lead to new ideas or entirely new concepts. I tried to find this book online for you all. It is on Amazon, but it's really expensive. I think it's from like 1996, so I think it's probably quite hard to find. But you don't need this book in particular, as gorgeous as it is. There's always such a variety of books in charity shops and at car boot sales. You just have to kind of train yourself to sift through and think outside the box in terms of if and how the contents could be useful to you. So in this case, in my studies of the body in motion, and in particular the body suspended in air, this particular pose stood out to me. I knew I wanted to expand it into more than just a sketch in my sketchbook, so I tried to think of ways that I could kind of contextualize it so it's not just a random body. And for whatever reason, her position reminded me of maybe stretching between jungle canopies, kind of dangling, looking down through the shrub. I can't really explain why, but that's what I saw, and I tried to brainstorm other ideas, but instinct is instinct, and in the end I thought, why not? I didn't want to overpower the painting with tree imagery and busy wildlife, so I thought I'd suggest the thickness of a treescape with leaves in light and shadow. I went with palm leaves just because they're one of my favourite, so that gave the piece more of a tropical feel, which I don't really mind. It could be a Pacific island jungle. The next thing to consider was colour. As soon as I knew I was doing something jungly, I had in mind this lovely deep green, and I wanted to keep the rest quite simple, so I went with a medium grey and then just a touch of very light pink to suggest a few highlights. The tape, by the way, and I'm sorry for repeating myself, but people literally ask every time, the tape is normal sellotape. I stick it to the back of my hand a few times to take away the stickiness, and it works perfectly. The paint is of course gouache and the paper is Strathmore mixed media paper, but all that info and a lot more as always will be in the video description below. So that's the whole thought process behind the piece. I feel like that's all I have to say, but I also miss just talking to you all. I feel like we've been losing touch a little bit and I don't know why. I have been really busy recently, so I'm just sort of whizzing through each day. Every day is going like a blur, which is really exciting and exhilarating, and I think it's kind of gaining momentum and I'm getting more done and I'm generating more ideas. I just kind of need to at some point stop and take stock and catch up with myself a little bit, if that makes sense. I don't actually know what I'm talking about anymore. I always do this. I'll say all the things I need to say and then I just start talking for the sake of talking. But it's been nice stripping the video back a bit, just painting something that I'm happy with, having a chat. I hope you've all enjoyed it too. In terms of the line work, I've been really liking the variety of shades that I can achieve with just a black colouring pencil. This one is from W.H. Smith's. I like the texture that it gives my lines. I like the control I have over shading. Some people might think it's a bit harsh, a bit clunky or clumsy, but that's what I like. I couldn't be happier with it. This piece is now in my shop. I will have it linked below, as well as prints of it in a few different sizes. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you soon with the next one. Bye.